I've actually got two more questions that I wanted to ask. Okay, so firstly, like, how many kids do you have now?
Okay. I got plenty of kids. I got kids everywhere.
Are there any kids that we don't know about?
I don't always post my children on social media. I'm very it took me a long time to, first of all, post my kids on social media and sort of put them out there. And let me tell you why. What I realized through other people in the industry is that they would post their kids. Some would create, social media accounts for their kids. But what it did is that it opened their children up to all the backlash and all the hate and all the horrible things that we see being spewed on social media. Now, one might argue about the kids, they don't understand anything. The point is that stuff generally lives forever and those kids grow up. So one of the reasons why I've been very protective of my kids is that it's only in recent years where I'm like, okay, cool, now and then, and genuinely with no strategic objective, just literally, this is my life. And even then, I'm always like, oof, okay, now people know what my child looks like. So if, for instance, I get fired on the radio one day, they're like, yeah, so how are you going to feed so-and-so? How are you going to feed all those kids? It's
written on your arm.
How are you going to feed all those kids?
Forget Instagram.
So that was the kind of fear that I had, that my career would somehow have an impact on them in a negative way, just sometimes to something that's genuine,
Okay. We've been talking about social media. We've been talking about radio. Are any of your kids interested in getting into radio?
No. Funny enough, no. But there is, my daughter, for instance, Nkeleto, is big on the YouTube space. And she literally has a corner in the house with her ring light and she's recording content all the time. So, my wife and I's phone, thank God for 2 terabytes of storage and cloud space, because, it's just full of that stuff. And I'm the one that's more, interestingly, I'm the one that's more circumspect on this issue. Wifey's like, no, let's
encourage it.
Let's encourage, let's post, and I'm like, because it's all about knowing what I know about the space. My experiences in the entertainment industry have showed me a lot of things, and some of the, I guess maybe the downside of exposing kids to, this space in general at a very young age, and having to put them in a space where they have to deal with things they can't control. You can't control necessarily what people say about your post, about your video, about how you come off. And so, yes, one can say, yeah, but then it's not about, don't worry about what people say, abantu bazotini, whatever. No, when you're a parent, trust me, you are protective over your kids.
But it's the same thing as being in the schoolyard. You can't be there all the time. They're going to have to learn and self-regulate. They're going to have to learn who, is a bully and who is genuine. I always, and I'm in the same space, and we both got kids the same age.
Here's the thing. It's also about how we communicate to our kids what social media actually is. I remember when my son, who's, in his sort of teens now, Poka, he wanted to get onto TikTok, even long before I knew what it was. He was the one who introduced me to TikTok because all his friends on it and whatever. And this is years ago. This is pre-lockdown. This is years ago in the early stage of TikTok. And I'm like, okay, but what's this thing? And then what I would do is look at the age restriction. Okay. And then he would be like, okay, he wants to get on Instagram when he was 13. I'm like, no, you're not getting on Instagram. Yeah. What are you going to post about? You're gonna go into daddy's closet. You're gonna take videos of all his sneakers and his watches, and then post them as yours.
and then you have to upgrade your alarm system.
Exactly. And then it's like, oh, wow, look what we have here. But eventually I let up a bit, and he's only just sort of in recent years been on Instagram, but we've had to have a conversation about what to post, what isn't a good idea to post, what to look out for. You don't have to respond to every DM. If you don't know or understand something, ask me.
So at the end of the day, it's basic parenting.
It's basic parenting.
It is basic parenting. It's like, do you want your bum on a billboard?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Then don't put your bum online.
Absolutely.
Okay. Basic parenting.
Yeah.
And building socially responsible citizens. Who can then go on to be influencers. I'm always like, if you're under 18, don't even come near me. Like, you've got to be a responsible citizen on social media before I will go, if I will work on your
Get
personal
an ID
brand.
first.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, but the thing is, even when you talk about responsibility, I mean, when you look at bullying, for example, and how easy it is to be a part of it. So you may not necessarily have been the one
who started
it, but a simple comment in that WhatsApp group where everybody's ganging up on someone, you are like implicated.
Do you know that my brother-in-law was telling me they recently went to go do like an RV trip through the US. He had to give them screenshots of his children's social media activity for the last 3 months before they would give visas.
Wow.
What you put online lives forever. And what's going on in the schools at the moment, I know this is not like the conversation that we intended to have, but like is very much the bullying is happening on WhatsApp and that type of stuff. And what you say sticks. It never goes away. So just be like sort of mindful of that. But that's another whole podcast.